Welcome back, Advice Pod. My name is Kyle. This is Raysean. This is Sam, and we have an Am I the Asshole? This is my problem with Am I the Asshole thread sometimes is they tell me right up top, asshole, and it already influences my decision, but we're going to read it anyway. Am I the asshole for not inviting my daughter to my wedding? My ex-wife and I, 40-year-old male, divorced 6 years ago, and we have a daughter, 17-year-old female. In all honesty, I wasn't a perfect dad. I'm a former drug addict, clean for 4 years now, which was the reason for our divorce. However, I've always done my best for my daughter, supporting as much as I could, both financially and emotionally. I love her very much, but she makes things so difficult for me. I said so like that because he fucking made the decision to use 4 O's on so. And you as a 40-year-old male and you have a 17-year-old daughter, you don't need to use 4 O's on so. You can just use one like a normal fucking adult. My fiance, 39-year-old female, and I have been together for 2 years. We're planning to get married this summer. My fiance was a really lovely and kind person. She tried very hard to be good with my daughter, but she never liked her. She was rude to her many times, and when she finally insulted my fiance, she started the argument, and my fiance didn't even raise her tone. My fiance stopped trying. Since then, 6 months, I've never brought them together. When I mentioned our wedding plans to my daughter, I told her that she wasn't invited. My fiance didn't ask me to. It's my own call. Because I think she'll make a scene there. We had an argument, and now she's mad at me. I also talked to my ex-wife, and she also disapproves of her behavior, but she thinks I should still invite her. My daughter doesn't want me to be with my fiance at all, but she has no rational reason. I don't want to upset her. I've already disappointed her enough when I was an addict, but I want to live my life in peace. I'm still not sure about my decision. Am I the asshole? Now I will read the edits because, they told us up top that this dude is obviously an asshole and he's since gotten a lot of feedback. So edit. First, I want to make clear that I'm not saying that I'm a perfect dad. I'm saying that I'm doing the best that I can because I really am, and I'm aware that it's not enough. I'm not disconnected from reality as some of you imply. I'm aware of the damage I've done to my daughter, and believe me, I'm trying very hard to make amends. I also realized that I was very judgmental toward my daughter. I will apologize to her and invite her to the wedding, but before that, I will also offer to go to therapy together. Thank you for all of your harsh comments. So this dude obviously already caught all of the shit, so this should be a little bit of a shorter one, but I feel like his heart was in the right place when he made the decision to not invite her because he didn't want to invite drama for himself or his wife or his daughter. But also, dumbass, it's your daughter. How are you not going to invite her to your wedding? As good as your intentions were, goddamn were they short-sighted.
I totally disagree. Child of divorce. My parents were divorced basically like my whole life. And my dad and my stepmom got together when I was like 3. I don't know. They're still together. But I had a clear path of my stepmom being quite a mother to me. And my sister did not have that. She was a little shit.
Older sister or younger sister?
Older sister.
How much older? If you're 3, how old was she?
2 years.
She was 5.
Yeah,
she was cognizant enough to be like, you're not my real mom. Meanwhile, you're 3 years old and you're like, I'm just happy to have this positive female influence in my life.
Exactly. And there was a whole lot of drama growing up. But look, now I am 31. My sister is 33.
That math makes sense. Yeah. 2 years older, 31 plus 2. Yeah. I too have never had parents who were together. My parents were super young when they had me, 16 and 17. And they,
17.
Yeah. I guess they had a date and hated each other ever since. And coincidentally, in between that happening, they procreated me. So I was born out of a place of really pure intention and goodwill for sure. But my point in mentioning all of that is I've had exposure to step parents most of my life. My stepdad came into the picture when I was probably like 5 or 6. And I'm right around your sister's age, right? When you're referencing that time, I was too cognizant. I was very much just like, you're not my dad. And I feel bad because that dude is one of the nicest people I've ever had in my life, bar none, start to finish. Swell fucking dude. Still call him Jim. He's not my dad. He's stepdad.
I still call him Jim. His name's Fred.
My stepmom who listens to this show. What's up, my stepmom Jessica? Same kind of deal. My stepmom Jessica, I think among my 4 parents, in all seriousness, I think hands down is the coolest among my 4 parents. She is a very down to earth person. She's an artist, very creative. She's very smart, very well spoken. She's just a nice person overall. And she's like the parent that I had the least anxiety approaching with problems when I was a kid. And thank God for that, because I until she arrived in my life and married my dad and stuck around, I never had a parent I wasn't worried about approaching with problems, you know?
Dude, I get that. Yeah, that's Kim for me.
There you go. Like, so even though, I don't know, the whole step parent thing can be a little bit tricky, it really does depend on the role that they choose to play. Because it could have been very easy for either of my step parents to be like, you're kind of an asshole and weird, and I don't like you, little kid. I don't need to be nice to you, but they chose to be nice to me anyway, and thank Christ they did, because I would be even worse off than I am now, and you all know how I am now. But for this person,
it's getting way too serious.
I feel like I'm saying things very bluntly. Okay, I don't even think it's that serious. It's hilarious, except when you take into fucking consideration that it is my actual life, and then it becomes less serious, a little bit more sad. But again, you have the layer of removal of it being my life and not your own, so you're welcome. I do think that this guy, it's a 14-year-old girl. She's a little bit older. You need to make the extra effort when they're 14, man. They're going through like the toughest time of their life. Like, biologically speaking, they have a lot of hormone issues going around. They're growing up into a woman. They might be a little irrational about some things. You, as a 40-year-old man, should fucking know that and realize that and make the extra effort to try to make cool with her. And the fact that you don't, and I get it, you're an addict, you had opiate problems or whatever 4 years ago. That's fine. I understand that's a tough thing to try to overcome. You overcame it 4 years ago, and you've now spent the last 4 years not making right with your daughter. That's not because you had an opiate problem. That's because you have a fucking prioritization problem.
Yeah, he does not give a shit about his daughter. He might, but he cares mostly about his boo, you know?
Ray, do you have step parent situations there's just a white kid problem? I don't know. Do you have any kind of, what do you think?
I don't have any like step parent situations. For majority of my life, my mom and dad have been there, or my mom's been there.
Oh my God, freak.
Are your parents still together, or are they separate?
They're together.
They're together. All right, cool.
Freak. What?
That is very uncommon. I feel for anybody.
No, I apologize. But in this situation, I feel like I can understand where the dad is trying to come from. Like, he understands, like, his daughter doesn't like his ex-wife. The main thing about that situation, I just want to make sure your not ex-wife, but your new wife or the stepmom, basically make sure that she's having a decent relationship with the daughter. Like, it's no point where she can go back and be like, the stepmom is abusing me or anything like that. That's something you probably should check into, make sure that situation is good. But other than that, I feel like the best thing to set up in this situation is probably healthy boundaries. Maybe you guys need to figure out a way where you guys can work out and do these situations, because I understand the father wants to have this event and not have it ruined. You know what I mean? Because, like, if him and the daughter can't come to an understanding, it's no point in them going and having like this crazy yelling match for no reason at the event. I can understand that. But also I can understand trying to talk to your daughter, see what's going on, and figure out if it's something you can do to like mend that situation. I don't know if that's something you haven't done, but in my mindset, I feel like these are things you have already tried. And like this is Yard at the last point where not inviting her is what it is. But that's just my interpretation of it. You probably have a different interpretation of it, but
in all seriousness, man, I think all three of us have given this dude too much credit because instead of just figuring out a way to make it nice with his daughter, he chose to go to Reddit and make this post and get roasted for it because he's very obviously a short-sighted moron for cutting off his 14-year-old daughter in an emotionally volatile situation. Like, you couldn't have thought about that a little bit more. What do you got?
He probably couldn't understand like where he's wrong. And I can feel that a little bit because it's like I wouldn't want to invite people I feel like wouldn't like the situation. Like, you know what I mean? But I feel like not inviting her is what caused it. I feel like him not inviting her straight out is what caused it. I feel like if he probably would have just gave her the invite, she probably would have probably not came.
Like, you guys made a very great point that like this should have been a conversation between him and his daughter. Him and his daughter.
It seemed like it was.
It doesn't seem like it was.
No, it started like that. It was like, hey, just so you know, I'm getting married and you're not invited because of this. He should have gone the opposite approach to say, hey, I'm getting married and I would love for you to be there, but I understand if you don't want to be there, do you want to go to my wedding? Honestly, that's probably where this dumbass really fucked up, was not giving his daughter
beyond that
the
of like
choice.
Hey, how can we like talk through this and blah, 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 you know, like they needed to have that conversation as opposed to like, oh, my daughter sucks. Like,
if he'd given his daughter the choice to make her own decision on the matter, because for all he knows, he could have given her the one or the other, you know, either come and be cool or don't come and I understand. She could have thought on it for a while and been like, come to her own realization of like, you know what? Yeah, my dad does deserve to be happy and meet a new spouse and move on and, you know, get his own stuff together. He's had a tough time the last few years being sober. He's sober now. He's trying to do better. He deserves happiness. Maybe that girl, as young as she is, would have come to that realization. But instead, he took that option away from her and just said, you're not invited because of A, B, and C. And to hit somebody with a punishment preemptively is asking to beef with that fucking person. This guy's a dumbass and the asshole.
Is he the dumbass?
Yep. Yep. No, he's a dumbass. Because I'll tell you what,
even if his daughter,
even if his daughter doesn't show up to this wedding, maybe she decides to, right? And she doesn't pull a scene, and that's best case scenario. She's witness to them getting married in the new chapter of her dad's life. But more realistically is she's been uninvited by her dad preemptively. She doesn't go to the wedding, and everyone at the wedding asks, hey, where's his daughter? Wow, why isn't his daughter here? Oh, that's weird. And then everybody at that motherfucking wedding for the rest of the day is talking about how it's weird that homeboy's daughter isn't there and how much of a piece of shit he is. He double fucked himself. He fucked himself first with his daughter and the opportunity to make right with her, and then second with the wedding of his own audience. This the audience of his own wedding is what I should have said. This guy's a dummy, and I hate him, and I hope he doesn't post on Reddit ever again.
Yeah, I think you fucked up with just taking away the choice. If you would have been like, if you didn't say that, I feel like this would have worked out perfect. It would have worked out better. I'm not gonna say perfectly, but it would have worked out a lot better.
Short-sighted piece of shit, man. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. This guy an asshole? Most people seem to think that he is. I think that he's a well-intentioned asshole, but he's also sort of stupid, which ultimately amounts into him still being an asshole. Well, let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Make sure you like the video if we didn't already yell that randomly in the first few minutes of the video.
Like the video.
Like the video. And check back in tomorrow where we're going to be talking about one of my favorite things in the goddamn world. Television.
Don't be a butt cheek.
Hell yeah. I don't know what that gong sound was. But I loved it.
Thanks, man.